Hi, everyone, and welcome to Truth Camp. I'm here today with my lovely wife, Sarah, and Anthony Sterling. And before we get kind of started into the episode,
you have fuzzy. And I'm sorry.
Where is it?
Right here. Up. Nope. Down.
Down.
There you go. Okay, sorry. Anyways, go ahead.
So before we get kind of started with the episode, we had to remove Fuzzy first.
I feel like I have to apologize. I feel like that's got to be my job.
Dave, you're failing. But I just wanted to take a minute to thank everyone who participated in buying one of these lovely Pumps and Pups shirts. We raised almost over $1,000 for the You Animals organization in Ukraine, which is helping animals get out of there right now and helping certain situations. So I'm very excited that we were able to do that.
And no, there will not be an animal coming to our house from the Ukraine, in case you're wondering.
Yep.
But
not yet.
So like I said, we have Anthony Sterling here, and he's the owner of Geom Sound and Wellness. And Anthony is a therapeutic sound practitioner and a meditation teacher and musician artist. So I want to just kind of start out with, what is sound meditation for people that don't know?
So there are certain instruments and certain harmonic patterns that allow your brain to more easily access electromagnetic brainwave states associated with meditation. And if you blend that with guided meditation, I've found in my practice, and I've heard from other people, that it can be easier to get into the habit of doing a meditation practice, because then it almost makes it more fun because you're like listening to music, and B, get into that sort of state.
Allow you to get deeper into it.
Yeah.
So how did you figure out that you wanted to get into sound meditation? What was your draw to music, I guess?
My draw to music, I've always been a performer since I was a kid, and started playing saxophone in middle school. And then towards the end of middle school, some friends wanted to start a band, and I had a guitar, and so I ended up playing guitar in that band, and that band lasted for most of my life up until the pandemic.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That long?
Yeah, it was a pretty huge portion of my life, my creative life for sure. And then I went to college for music. I went for music education. I wanted to get a master's in music therapy. And then I bounced around, went to psychology, thought I would study how music affects the brain, psychomusicology, and then I went to social work because I wanted to help people. And then I dropped out because I had a big ego and I wanted to work on my music career.
You wanted to save money.
Yeah,
that's tired of that.
That for real, yeah. No kidding. But dropped out, worked on the band for a long time, and it did pretty decently around the local area. And then the pandemic hit, and I was partying too much because we were playing in dive bars a lot, and it was fortunate for me that the pandemic hit, unfortunate that the pandemic hit, period. But I was one of those people who got the chance to shut in and work on something.
You can speak positively of the pandemic here. This is a safe space for that.
Okay.
Sarah was a very fan of the pandemic.
I'm still a fan of the pandemic. I would love to go back on lockdown. I'm for masks only because you can't see who I am in the grocery store. So we are fans of that here. You're welcome to speak in all positive ways about that.
All right.
So it allowed you to have like that time and space.
Yeah, and I spent most of that time doing a lot of yoga and doing a lot of meditation, and just not working on music at all. And I had all this equipment because I was recording my band, and then I started producing beats, like lo-fi hip-hop beats for rappers, that kind of thing. And that got me into production, and then mixing those got me into audio engineering, and I went down that rabbit hole for like 6 months of.
So did you just teach yourself the things along the way, look things up, or?
Yeah. YouTube, is one of the best resources that everybody has to learn about anything.
Yeah.
There's so much information on YouTube.
Hence all of this.
And I got COVID at one point. In 2020 or 2021, I can't remember. It was winter. I got COVID. And I was laid up for a week. Couldn't go to work. And right as I was as sick as I think I got, which I didn't get too sick, I decided that it was a good time to take mushrooms. And so I was having a very intense experience. I was huddled up under a blanket over top of a register in the house that I was living in, listening to an artist called East Forest. He makes music for people to journey to with entheogens, and for other purposes, yoga and things like that. And I was like, why am I not doing that? You know, like I always wanted to help people with music. I wanted to do music therapy. And he's just a music artist who was doing that. And I was like, well, I'm a music artist. I could be doing that. And so I started researching it very heavily and looking into all of the, not all of, but as many of the like leading, as many of the thought leaders in that industry as I could, in like the sound healing, sound meditation, therapeutic music, that sort of vein of the internet.
So you just kind of research and listen to what they were currently doing.
Yes, and I eventually found Alexander Tanu, and he is the person who did the research on the overtone emitting instruments and how they affect your brain. You can actually find his work at soundmeditation.com.
Awesome. And that you did a little bit of a presentation a few weeks ago on some of that, correct? At the spring equinox event.
Yeah. So that presentation, I do have one that goes more in depth with exactly how the overtone emitting instruments work and all that. But that presentation was more about the layers of repeating patterns in nature, which vibration led me to as well, because there's those patterns can be seen in fractal patterns that happen in vibration.
Which was really awesome. That was like the first time I really ever heard about that and it was just like mind blowing for me.
Yeah, and you're like, I'm not going to talk about the math part. Like, if you want, we can talk about that another time, or I'll have another, we'll talk about that another time. And this one goes, I want to talk about the math. And I'm like, go talk about the math, because it's going to be you and him talking about math. I'm out.
Have you always been interested in like mathematics, or did the music kind of led you towards the interest?
The music definitely led me towards math. I was always more interested in music and language. I was a songwriter before I was ever a producer and audio engineer, making like folk songs, that kind of thing, rock songs. And I was really interested in language, and music got me into math, because I recognized that music is sort of like a language. We can write it out, we can speak it, or play it, or sing it. And mathematics is also like a language. It's just a way of speaking about, reality, observable reality, in repetitious patterns, or observing the repetitious patterns using numeric values. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to word that.
Well, 'cause don't they say that everything breaks down to math?
Yeah.
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 Yes. I mean, it can. You can break things down with math. Yeah. I don't know if it is I don't want to say like this table is math.
Yeah.
But you can observe it, and the language with which you speak about the table at the most finite level of reality is mathematics.
Angles, measurements.
Yes, geometry.
No, not your favorite.
No, I mean, no disrespect. I just am not a math-brained person at
good.
all. Like, it's cool, but like, give me the
But
calculator.
I think ever
give me the
since
Texas
he like
Instrument.
had that like saying about that,
Yeah.
I've noticed that like when we go hiking, like you notice all the synchronies of the like mathematics and the patterns.
Oh, like if you find a field of like ferns, and see the way that they're all crossing over each other, it like looks like symmetrical layered like collage art or something if you look at it the right way.
And I liked, what was the thing you showed me? Was it like the pine cone or something? You were saying like
It swirls. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of seed pods do, because that was, I know you had that in part of your like aloes, agaves, cruciferous vegetables. They will kind of have this spawning off, like the tree branch. I liked that analogy where you use like where they just kind of break, everything breaks
fractaling.
off. Fractals.
Yeah.
I actually saw some video about something about physics the other night, and I was like, babe, I just saw this video about the physics of how you could turn a sphere inside out but not a circle. And she's like, I hate physics. And I'm like, oh, well, I actually found something mathematical interesting.
shot you down.
That's what I was gonna say.
I was so excited.
She hates
I
math.
was
Gets
probably
excited.
I
about
was
physics. You
so
love math. I'm like,
excited.
fuck
They were-
physics.
There were like 5 parts to this.
Wasn't I in
video.
the kitchen? I think I was hungry.
Yeah, I was not. I was like, it was the coolest thing. You're like, yeah, I hate physics. Okay, cool. Anyways,
I'm like bad at math though. I like to think about math, but I don't think I'm like proficient at doing.
Like just the theories of it you appreciate.
Yeah, like applying.
Yeah.
I can understand like sequential patterns and applying that to. I'm more about philosophizing about what the math is implying, than
The
like
actual application. Of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to like come up with new equations or something.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, people do that. That's
so
the
like
thing.
throw you into the theoretical part of it, and you're like,
Yes, I love the theoretical part of everything I do.
yes.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally? Like, where are you from, and where did you go to high school and college?
Brilliant, Ohio, and then I moved to Mingo. I went to high school at Buckeye Local, and I went to college at West Liberty University.
Good old Buckeye Local.
And where did
The
you
swamp.
start doing the sound meditation at?
Um,
Like when did you start exactly like doing that in yoga studios or where else you've done it?
so once I started making that music, I was just kind of, I was one of those fortunate people that got unemployed and got that like really sick unemployment.
Oh, that's just look at
And that,
I got
It's a
I got
source.
unemployed and they wouldn't give me the.
oh, that sucks, man.
They said I hadn't worked long enough in West Virginia and quit my job in Ohio.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a bummer. I'm sorry.
I'm
but-
happy for you though.
Thank you. I was fortunate to have that happen for sure.
Yeah, because it was sweet. It was like you're just gonna get paid to chill.
Yeah, but I used
Yeah,
that
instead I got
time
my
to-
car repoed. So,
We can
sorry.
we can laugh about it now.
Let's go back to the positivity.
We can laugh about it now.
I used that time to like feverishly make this music because I got really obsessed and started figuring out how to apply the mathematics of the fractal pattern of the vibration that comes out of overtone emitting instruments, figuring out how to apply that to a large composition in an electronic music setting. That became my obsession, and then once it was done, once I had like a big 32 note harmonic drone thing in my computer, I was like, what the fuck do I do with this? And I lived right across the graveyard from Les Chateaux, and so I knew Marley, and my band had played there before COVID hit and everything. And so I hit her up and I was like, hey, can I just like set up in the ballroom and do a sound bath? And she let me do that. And then the full moon ceremonies, full moon festival started last summer that she puts on every month. And I played at every single one of those. And eventually some people from yoga studios came. Devin came, Devin Ashmore. Lisa came out and found me from Breathwork, Lisa Mort, and they brought me back to Empowered. I played outside Empowered at First Friday Festival in Steubenville, and then from there, eventually, I just started doing weekly classes, and now I'm down to monthly workshops, 2 of them currently, the Shamanic Sound Journey with Alicia Dunleavy and my sound meditation workshop, because my schedule is getting, fortunately for me, much busier.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
great. That took off. Did you know, like, once you started doing it, that's like what you wanted to do? Like, was it like an immediate kind of?
It not only did it feel like what I wanted to do, it felt like everything around me was compelling me to do it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt with like doing the personal training, because I never did it before. I always did like art type stuff,
Yeah.
and I always wanted to, but I just hawked myself out of it for so long. And then the minute I started doing it, I just like, there was something inside. I like knew I was meant to do that.
Yeah, that's what we talk about. COVID is like the great break that gave everybody a chance to, like, well, not everybody, but you either really fell apart, sorry, Dave, or you figured it
I had
out.
a beautiful job at Kroger's, making $9 an hour.
Didn't you love seeing all the people though? Wasn't that great?
I actually didn't hate Kroger's, to be honest with
No?
you. No, you know me, I'm a people person.
Yeah, I know you are. You sick
They
fuck.
had me in the liquor store. I got stuck in the
Oh,
bourbon.
fuck. Yeah, that was probably even better. Never mind. That was great. Now, what is your band still like together and just like on hold right now, or?
We got together a couple months ago to play a show at Luna Blue, actually, Les Chateaux. And I could see us getting together to just like play a show here and there in the future. But our drummer, who used to play guitar, who used to play bass, moved to Columbus, so probably not so much at this point.
I'm sorry, did you say drummer or guitar? What did he do in your band?
He did all of the things at one point or another.
What,
One of those people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I just know like quite a few musicians in the area, so I was just curious.
Mm.
He did all.
I
of
know
the
a really good
things.
drummer.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
of the things. Do you miss
Cody Cook?
I don't know him. What did he hang out with your group?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've probably seen him.
He's like one of those savants. He just like.
Oh yeah, one of those people that you hate because they could just pick up anything and do it.
I
You're
mean,
just
I
like,
love him. He literally picked up this wall decoration at his parents' house, and it's like all these like steel plates, and then started playing it as an instrument. He sent me a video. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's an ornament.
Not anymore.
So what all instruments do you play?
I can fuck around on a keyboard. My primary instrument, I would say, is guitar. I sing. I can play hand drums. I can't really play a trap set very well. Simple beats. String bass, saxophone. Trying to think if there's anything I'm leaving out. I mean, gongs, crystal bowls, those types of things.
Yeah.
The crystal bowls are sweet.
I know I love the crystal bowls and sound meditation.
I actually don't even have any.
Really?
Yeah, I have no crystal bowls. Other people have crystal bowls. They end up playing with me. And that's always nice because I love the crystal bowls too. But
I think the saxophone is awesome.
I
think
know
that's
saxophone's
really
one of
cool.
my favorites.
Yeah,
first instrument I learned.
that's awesome.
I tried it whenever I was in middle school. I did it for a couple years, but I fell away from it.
When they like awkwardly throw instruments at you, it's the most awkward time of your life. Pick an instrument, choose wisely.
Yeah.
I actually did like classes because I think if you like the place that my parents took me to, you could like rent the equipment as you do the classes. And I think just when I was about to own it, I stopped playing. And my mom was
Your
so
mom's
mad.
So pissed. So pissed. For sure. All that money.
Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
So do you see yourself following just with like the groups that we kind of like flow in and out of? Do you see yourself getting into the more spiritual aspect and being like guided that way? Like you have this great foundation love for music. Do you find yourself wanting to go that direction? Because I know you mentioned like doing social work and wanting to help people.
I think at this point, guiding meditation, and I'm also going to be growing mushrooms soon. I'm making a mushroom farm, and so that will be something that takes up a lot of energy and time as well. And I want to do a lot to advocate for sustainable living and sustainable lifestyle practices. And my goal, I think, is to use my platform to bring awareness to those things and educate people about sustainable lifestyle practices, as well as educating people about what I do and all that, you know. But I see that as I see it as like I see Genome Sound and Wellness as like a multifaceted wellness experience.
They
So I
go like
put-
hand in hand with each
yeah,
other.
and I think sustainable lifestyle practices are wellness. You know, those are things that make you well, usually.
So what would you say to someone, because I know there's probably a lot of people listening that might know nothing about mushrooms and they just think it's some drug that people try to get high and trippy on. Like,
That's not
what-
even, I won't even be growing that variety. I'll be growing the medicinal, the legal
Like the
medicinal
medicinal
varieties.
reishi and
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I was
What
gonna say,
else,
I didn't
like
think you'd
turkey
bring it up on the
tail?
podcast if it was psilocybin.
Listen, there are plenty of people growing psilocybin underneath of their beds
Yeah. Yeah.
after the pandemic.
But in your experience, like what are the benefits that you've encountered or heard? And-
of psilocybin mushrooms
Yeah.
specifically, what are the benefits? I've taken them, I will say that, and I'm an advocate of their use for introspection and dealing with trauma, because that's what they've helped me do, and also for battling addiction. They helped me get sober from alcohol, which I've been sober for over 2 years now, almost 2.5 years.
Yay,
Thank you.
congratulations.
I think they have a lot of potential medicinal benefits. You can definitely also use them to party, just like any substance. That's always a possibility. Just like cannabis. Cannabis can be medicinal, but you can also just use it recreationally for fun.
a lot of that's intentional.
Yeah, it's the intention going
behind
into it. And also the set and setting, how you are filtering the experience post-ingestion, you know. If you're at a rave, you're going to have that experience. If you're at home listening to some sort of meditation music and like putting on a blindfold and closing your eyes and going deep, you're going to have that experience, you know. It's all set and setting.
I think as you get older, most of the time you don't. I mean, I'm old, but most of the time you don't want that rave setting anymore. Like for me, like anytime I do it, it's like medicinal. Like I want to like tear down my ego and take a look at myself, and I don't even want music. Like I did it with somebody not that long ago, and they're like, "Oh, I got this great playlist." I'm like, "I'm gonna go for a walk."
Oh yeah, go out in nature with it. Yeah,
I don't even care
that's-
if I'm
yeah.
in the neighborhood. I'll go walk around the neighborhood and just talk to myself.
But have you discovered children's sensory videos?
That sounds. I don't. What?
Listen, they're HEY exclamation point children's sensory videos, and
They're just like patterns.
You're
over
welcome.
And over.
this is all I'm gonna say is you're welcome. They're for children, and it's fantastic. And I'm not even talking like you don't have to be.
Could I get a description?
Oh my god!
Right.
Okay.
Like
So-
I need more
Can
information.
Can we
Pull it
pull
up,
it up
pull it
on
up.
YouTube?
Oh yeah.
But if you can,
I'm too excited.
a request for the rainbow raindrops or the vegetables.
Rainbow
please.
raindrops, please.
So they're actually really great. If you're feeling overwhelmed,
Yeah.
even without anything.
You'll put them on the TV and just let them like roll.
I think it's
for the
like,
animals.
I think it's fantastic. I mean, there's something to be said about them, but I mean, just children's sensory videos.
I'm using the wrong sensory.
There's a nice cat and a poor fucking cat. We got some Gucci Mane. Oh my god, it's Peppa Pig. There it is.
Hey Bear.
Oh, okay. Hey Bear. That's
Which
cool.
one?
Where's that? No, go down. Where's the rainbow one?
It's fine. We're gonna go with
Any of 'em?
we're gonna go with Hey Bear vegetables because that's the first one that fruits and veggies go the very first one.
The very first one.
Yeah.
Yup.
Let's try it.
Now the music's annoying as fuck. I'm gonna preface.
Oh, I need to get the remote. Oh no, it's going for that.
Oh no. Music is absolutely atrocious, but the video is fantastic. What I'll do is I'll put like a playlist on my phone, and then I'll watch these. Hit that
Oh, we
skip
gotta
ad,
skip
bro.
it.
This paragraph may be too long. Consider starting
Skip
with
There
that
we go.
ad. I mean, this isn't too
Oh, we
bad
gotta
right now,
turn that
but
Yeah.
down.
I was hoping I could see it too.
it's a vibe. I'm telling you, it's such a vibe.
That seems pretty loud in you guys' ears.
You love it. You know you love it.
I prefer the like rainbow ones over the fruit. You love that. I don't know how Tony feels about it.
He likes it.
I kind of like the
He
music.
likes it. Well, this is a good one. Some of them are real fucking weird, but this is a good one.
They do like suck you in though.
I can barely hear the music because it's playing through your headphones, and I left my pair somewhere, but I don't know how long I could watch this for.
There's all different ones though. They have like different themes.
It's a vibe.
For sure.
I mean, they look like happy fruit. I'll say that.
And do you notice it's been like 25 seconds and we are all completely focused?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see?
But
It sucks you in.
You
Well, they
put
look
me
so
in this
happy.
position.
They are. Look at them.
They're smiling. They're
Winking.
dancing.
Winking? I don't know. That pineapple might be hitting on me.
That pineapple, if it was upside down, he might get it. You need the rainbow raindrop
I know,
one.
we need
The
to find the
rainbow
rain-
raindrop one is, I can't remember what, I think the music sucks for that one. But it's so good.
These little headphones are like so much louder than your guys' headphones. I was saying that
There
like
it
right
is.
before we got on. I'm like, these are so loud.
So I actually have,
This
Oh,
one.
the
yes, I have a
Oh, man.
picture and a video.
You said,
This
"Oh,
one.
man,
This one for sure is made
This
for
is
psilocybin.
great.
My cat watches them.
Yeah, the
Hug-
cats love them.
This one
This
is
great.
everything.
I love the patterns. I don't know what that is. That an ad in the middle?
Yeah,
Oh.
but it's fine because there's rainbow raindrops.
There's just something aesthetically pleasing about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I could like get hypnotized and like fall asleep to this.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I don't know why those other things are on the screen. Those should go
But
away.
this is,
The music for that one is a tad lower.
yeah, see, this music, a little annoying. But can you imagine it with like something more pleasant? You just got to find the music that you
it
like.
wasn't pleasant to Tony at all. He had to take his headphones
This
off.
is, no, this is terrible. This is a little too, but the other one, a vibe. But this is,
That one's cool too.
Yeah. All right.
You want to talk
All
about,
day
You
long.
want to talk about tracers?
oh yeah, this,
I would be sitting there with my mouth wide open, just.
yeah, this is not an activity for high doses of acid. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yep. So those are my two faves. We really dig.
Sensory music.
I dig sensory music. I'm not gonna lie, but I also have ADHD like a motherfucker. But that.
What kinds of music did your band play? I just was wondering. It just
this
like
is
hit me.
the level of disdain that she has for the children's sensory. She's like, we're done. We're done talking.
Well, you're
about
gonna
this."
be really upset to find out we
It was-
played children's sensory music.
There are people dressed up as clouds.
I totally come
I
to
played
your
the
show.
pineapple.
I would
Right up
actually
your
for
alley.
Sure go to that concert.
They stole that from you.
Yeah, that's my intellectual property. We
Goes
played,
on the audio. He was texting his lawyer.
We played like indie rock. It kind of turned into some like psychedelic indie rock jam bandish type stuff towards the end.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What?
Need water? I
Yes.
saw the arm just like
Please. My mouth is so dry.
Butter here decided to just be a lap boy.
Well, that just.
Why don't you go sit up there?
Oh my god, I'm just so glad I could put you onto that.
Oh yeah.
I'm so oh,
There you go.
so happy. I don't. How did I find those?
I honestly don't remember. Did someone tell you about it?
I know I didn't find it on my own, but I don't know who.
It might have popped up even in our like, because we started watching the lo-fi because of Paige. So that might have just been like a recommended, and we were probably like, "What's this?"
Lo-fi
I
beats
love-
to chill,
yes.
relax, and study. to.
Lo-fi,
Yes.
lo-fi girl, lo-fi girl.
And
then-
now we see the Simpson ones all the time.
Yeah,
you know that.
Then there's one that I hate Christmas, but it's like the Christmas one, and the scene behind it is so pretty, and there's like falling snow,
Oh yeah.
and it's like, or what is it? It's like something at Christmas time, but it's lo-fi music, whatever it is.
The animations for those videos is like a whole style.
Oh, I love it.
It is really cool.
Yeah.
I love it. Like instantly, I'm sleeping, but it's lo-fi girl usually all the time.
We put it with something on where. What's that?
Mine turned under volume.
Do you like? Are you into the lo-fi channels at all, or like?
Yeah. So when I started making beats, I was making
Aw,
Hi.
what a nice boy. He was just growling at Tony before the episode started.
We're friends.
Such a
Now they're
moment.
friends.
I started out making beats, and I was making beats to try to lease for rap music, and I was also making lo-fi beats and like playlisting those on Spotify and stuff. And recently, I'm actually really excited. I'm making beats again for yoga classes and dance classes.
Nice.
Just did one last night at Sunny Vibes in Pittsburgh with Devin Ashmore. I made like an hour's worth of beats, and it was like yoga into intuitive dance and then a sound bath at the end. And that was our first time doing it, and it went really well, I think. And
That's
so
awesome.
I'm looking forward to making more beats. And I have some DJing opportunities, and I want to try and DJ sets where people can bring their own drums and just have like an ongoing drum circle going to the beats the whole time.
That
That
would
would
be
be
sweet.
sick.
Yeah.
I
That's a
do
good
enjoy
idea.
like the being able to feel like the vibration of it too, like that. What can I help you?
Yeah, I feel like that helps me get deeper
Yeah.
into a meditation. Just that
That
vibration.
bass and
Yeah,
vibration.
that's the shamanic trance, like, yeah, that
like
effect.
melts you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Like late at night, I don't sleep, so I'm like this, and I go down my rabbit hole of noises and sounds and lo-fi things. And
We
I-
have that on for the animals all day, so they don't bark.
but I've like discovered the ones that are like a hybrid of like shamanic sound bath plus rainforest rain with thunderstorm with this, like, and it's like just the most sound you can pack in,
Yeah.
and I love it. Like the more layers of sound, the better.
Yeah. That's
And-
kind of how I stack my my compositions.
So you're just like, how many
I s-
layers would you say you normally have to yours? Like, or what do
I'm
you think
counting
is,
in my head, so.
or what do you think is like ideal, or is there an ideal?
Usually as many as I can fit, to the point where you can still hear, like, even the quiet. I want everything in the composition to be heard. So as many as I can fit while you can still hear the details of the composition.
So it's not like overcrowded.
Yeah, not overcrowded, and it depends on the vibe you want. Sometimes you want just a few instruments that are all very present for more of like an intimate mix. Or like a lot of the stuff I do though is big and orchestral sounding. And so, I mean, just one drone in there has 32 different instruments. And then that's one drone out of 3 drones plus some nature samples plus whatever other instruments I'm using, gongs, guitar, all that. So a lot of layers.
I love that. I find it harder when something only has like a couple of sounds. Like it's almost more distracting to me because I can pick out
And that's
thing.
why it's more intimate to me, because it's like calling your focus.
Mm-hmm.
Like just listening to a track of someone singing and playing guitar, it feels weird to let that be background noise to me. I'm like, okay, well, there's just a guitar and a voice.
Mm-hmm.
I can like really tell what's going on here, as opposed to something that's got a bunch of layers. You can just sort of pick up on whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it being instrumental is a huge part of, because when there's no words, you don't have to identify with the meaning
Mm-hmm.
of what someone is saying.
How do you feel about like the trend in music now where we're going back into like Spotify is where it's at. Like everyone has their playlist that they're curating and artists are gaining their popularity. So it's kind of like, I don't know how old you are. So do you remember MySpace?
I am 25 and I do remember MySpace.
Fuck. Okay. So I just remember MySpace, like people would put their music out and it was like that we would find new music there.
Yeah,
So that's what
MySpace was big for.
Spotify's been great for that, but I also really love how, and I'm interested to know what you think about how the artists are now, because their songs are so intricate and so layered, but they're so perfect too. Like they make, like when they strip things down and they're like, oh, here's this layer, this layer, this layer, you see how much work goes into it now.
Oh, yeah.
Like so much work.
Yeah. And yeah. Yeah, sorry. I just spent like 2 weeks mixing beats, an hour of them. So I'm like, you got my head spinning. I've been doing a lot of that work.
I enjoy watching that. And I think it's like for anyone who like, if you like that kind of music, just to try to find some of the behind the scenes of it, because it does make you appreciate it more. It made me appreciate it more to realize that like a little sound that you might think is so like, why is that, like that's a weird sound, why is that in there? But when the artist layers it and they take that away, the whole song almost falls apart without it.
Yeah, or like taking one audio sample and editing it like 10 different times with 10 different effects and then reversing it and then making it pan between the speakers really fast so it goes whoop 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 and then doing all sorts of weird shit to just get one sound to sound the way you want it to.
Like I'm losing my shit with the 8D audio right now, and there's like a couple of people that I found on TikTok that do like these neurodivergent playlists, and you either put your speakers in your phone in your mouth, like I'll literally be like this at night, or you put your headphones on because it's pulsing and going from one side to the other.
Binaural.
But yes, the binaural. Oh my god! Like
I use those effects in my music.
I love that shit.
Yeah.
It's just so cool because you feel it.
Yeah.
It's really wild.
Well, because when it's going back and forth between the speakers, it's actually creating a really low frequency wave that you can only experience by feeling it because it's going back and forth. It's below the threshold of human hearing, generally, which is, well, sometimes it's not, but usually it is if it's panning back and forth. Anything below 20 hertz. And so, yeah, it's sort of making a second vibration you can only feel. In a
That
way.
almost feels like it goes through you, like when you're experiencing
Oh,
it.
there's
Yeah,
ones
it's
on there
crazy.
that's just, I'll be on there for an hour. Loop it.
Yeah, if you listen to my music in headphones, you'll have that experience.
All right, good. Well, I'm going to, please tell me you have TikTok.
I do.
Good, because I'm going
Yeah.
to find you, and then I'm just going to, you'll wake up and there'll be like 99 plus messages.
Awesome. I'll have to start getting more active on TikTok again. I have
You
some
really,
videos up.
oh my
but
God, you have to. There's just like a whole,
My issue
Lame for
is
that.
whenever I was active on it, I would just go down doom scrolling rabbit holes forever.
I don't even care
Sucks
because
me in.
I learn, like I swear to God, I really do. Like I like info dumping.
Yeah.
So
Oh, me
for
too.
me, I love it. Like, but I like to think that I have really perfected how to like curate my For You page really, really well.
That's good.
And I know how to like shift it. So I take pride in that and knowing that there's like the same 8 sides that I like to stay on. And I'm very diligent about staying in a specific, like, if no disrespect to anybody with kids, but if there's fucking kids on my For You page, dislike, block, get that shit out of here because you're going to fuck up my algorithm. Food, love to see it. Not right now. Get it the fuck out of here. And you have to like shit. Like I tell her, she's like, my For You page sucks. I don't like, I'm like, you have, if it's gay, like it. You don't have to like it, but like it.
Yeah.
But if you want to see more music, even if you don't like it, you have to like it.
Yeah.
Just so you can,
Yeah.
try to stay
I
there.
do that on Instagram. I guess if I would be more mindful of what I'm, to try and curate my, just my Instagram feed, I do the same.
because then you can find like some cool thing, like the sustainable living TikTok. I am on that proudly.
Oh yeah, there's people who are like out in the woods living off the land, just TikToking it.
Yeah, there's a dude in West Virginia, rural West Virginia. My man has it pimped out. Like he has this badass computer like set up. He's got this like sick like barista station with this like huge espresso machine, and he'll show you his, I mean, it is legit. Like, my man is living his best
Weren't
life.
you like into like the minimalist living, or am I swear someone told me that you like
Yeah.
lived out of your car or something.
Yeah, well, I have lived out of my car, but that is not.
That's not for the same reason.
That was not a sustainable living thing.
It actually became very unsustainable very quickly.
Fuck it, I say
I
we
don't know
roll
why
with
that-
it. It was sustainable.
It
We're
was
doing
sustainable.
I did live in a tiny house.
Okay,
for
that's
a little
what
bit,
maybe I'm
and,
thinking.
Yeah, so when I dropped out of college, I thought about going to trade school actually to be an HVAC tech, because I worked in the maintenance department at West Liberty, and I was like, oh, I could get into this, tinkering with stuff. Didn't end up doing that. Ended up working at a Dollar General and focusing on my band and partying. But I got married while I was in college, and we both dropped out together. We were both going to West Liberty, to Leia, who was actually just on your podcast recently. And then we built a tiny house in my parents' backyard and pulled it into a horse pasture in my friend's backyard and lived there for about 2 years.
Oh no
That
way.
is what's up. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many square feet would you say it was?
8 by 16.
Wow.
270 square feet if you count the lots, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. We just bought like a prefab shed. And my stepdad's a welder, and he welded us down a house trailer. And then we had some cranes, and we just picked the shed up, dropped it on the house trailer, built out the inside, and then pulled it wherever we needed to pull it.
That is so cool.
That is very cool.
That is
And I just want to let you know that your dog just drug his ass on the floor.
He's out of
and,
frame. I
Out of
think.
frame. Butter just drug his bare asshole on the ground.
Do you have to go to the bathroom?
It didn't
He was
seem
getting
like a
real-
bathroom
He was
thing.
getting like real fidgety on me, so I put him down. I think he might
He
have.
just wanted to scratch
I
his
always
ass.
love the idea of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
tiny house, but like when you go and try to like buy one though, it's like it's expensive as a regular house.
It cost us roughly 8 to 10K to build ours.
To build it, I think is definitely more feasible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like financially.
Yeah, because now it's like trending. These places are going to get you. They're going to be like, oh, we have this really awesome shed, though. It's like $45,000. But, and it's like,
Yeah.
that defeats the purpose.
Did you build it with the intention to be able to move it, or did you have to figure that out after?
I think at one point we thought it was going to be like a living, traveling
Oh, that's
situation. That's not how it ended up, but we just the trailer also was a house trailer, so like it would have had to have a little bit more work done in order to be able to put on that kind of mileage.
Okay.
What did you do with the house?
Sold it to somebody we knew.
Out of curiosity, profit margin.
Oh, we didn't profit on it.
Okay.
I mean, if you consider the 2 years we got out of it plus the money we sold it for. Actually, I think we sold it for like, I don't know, like somewhere around 2,000, maybe 3,000.
Okay.
Because it was just someone we knew who needed a place, and
Well, that's cool.
yeah,
I
and
was
we
just thinking with
weren't
that-
using it anymore.
With that
so-
market, like that we were just talking
Yeah.
about, where people are paying
Oh, yeah.
outrageous money for it. I was just
Yeah.
curious.
Well, also like we built the inside ourselves and did it completely off of YouTube information, so like. I don't think either of us felt comfortable like marking it up and being like, yeah, buy our super nice, professionally built.
Why not?
crooked
People
ass
people
That's
flip
what people
houses.
flip houses. I know around.
Don't drive
around-
it
yeah.
too far.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you been in a 70-year-old's home? Have you seen flipped houses? Because
Yeah, this market. There's a lot of.
Have you
people-
seen this house?
now, no, you're not. You didn't flip this.
No.
Okay,
Can't,
so
can't even fit a fridge in the kitchen. So
also I would like to say that there's a whole side of TikTok about the people that flip houses.
I'm
and
sure
it's
there is.
really interesting.
I actually was curious too. Like, where can people find your music?
YouTube mostly right now. My website genomesound.com, GENEOHMSOUND.com.
What's your YouTube?
If you just search Genome Sound and Wellness, you'll
Okay.
find it.
Spotify still?
I need to put stuff on Spotify. I think it's somewhere on there under like a different name that I was using previously. I need to rework all of that. all
So
of my
we're gonna get you
distribution.
back up and running on Spotify, and we're gonna get you back on TikTok because
Okay.
there's
Alright.
a lane for
I-
you there.
Oh, I know there is. I just haven't. I've been so busy with the like local community stuff that I just haven't. Like Instagram's been doing me pretty good for getting out there and promoting events, and I've just been so focused on what my live experiences are like that I just haven't like put a lot of effort into.
Just copy and paste them all, bro. Just
Oh, I know. I was steadily making like reels and reposting them to TikTok and everything. so-
same thing.
Hey, you are hesitant to posting too. So I don't
Do you want to know why? This is why. Because I'm hiding from people. I have put my time in. I have
That's
done the
true.
social media grind. I am there
Are
from.
you saying you're old?
No, I'm just saying I'm fucking tired, and I just want to. I'm not only hiding from you in the grocery store. I'm hiding from you on social media while I'm nibbing.
She just wants to lay around with her phone in her mouth.
I do. I just let me listen to my music.
That's all she wants to do.
I want to know what like the first time you like looked over and she had her phone in her
I've
mouth.
She
never
doesn't see
seen
it.
her with her phone in her.
No.
This is the first time I've heard this information, to be honest.
No,
with
because
you.
she fucking falls asleep at like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm awake
10
until
or
3
11.
or 4 in the morning. Like I just can't sleep. It doesn't matter. I'll turn this off and I'll just lay there.
But I wake up when
like-
the sun comes out, and you could sleep until like 10, 11.
I can sleep forever. Let's be
a
honest. I
morning
just am
person.
awake at night. So you just, and I'm usually going, babe, look at this, look at this. And she's like, I can't. I'm tired.
don't
I
have
have. I
attention
do not have the mental capacity for this right
I say
now.
that a lot.
And then I go,
For those just listening, it's a very pouty face.
and I put my headphones on, and then I just listen
Then I
to
shove my phone in my mouth
Shove my
and-
phone in my mouth. Don't knock it because you're gonna do it.
I'm gonna try it at least once.
You're definitely gonna do it.
So when you do that actually, and you change the shape of your mouth, you're doing the same effect as an ohm, the ohm chant. Because when you change the vowel shape in your mouth, it's actually for musicians, it's taking the EQ and pushing it from the low end to the high end. Or it might be the other way. But that's how like a wah pedal works for a guitar. So like when you put your speaker in your mouth and you wah wah wah, it sounds like a wah pedal. It's that ohm effect, which is it accentuates the overtones, which causes that electromagnetic brainwave effect.
I thought you were gonna go the didgeridoo route.
Oh, that's
those
it.
are sweet.
No, that's an overtone emitting instrument. Those are dope.
Those
I had
are
a
sweet.
buddy when I was in the Air Force. He was awesome at it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would just go sit in his room and drink, and he just play the didgeridoo.
People who beatbox with them and shit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love beatbox.
Oh yeah, there's like it's amazing to see what people can do.
Mm-hmm.
Like
How long does it take you, average? I'm sure every piece is different, but like average time to just put together a sound bath.
So all of my sound baths are completely live.
Okay.
I created it so that I could improvise everything. Because part of it for me, as an artist, not as a facilitator or citizen scientist or whatever, as an artist, part of it for me is being in that state of flow. And improvising music puts you in that flow state because you have to be there in order to be listening and playing at the same time. You have to play with the music. You have to be in flow, and that state is also associated with the electromagnetic brainwave state of meditation. And if you're in a room full of people and you start breathing slowly, everyone's breathing will start to match yours eventually if they start to notice how calm you are. Our nervous systems pick up on those things, and we all calm down together. When musicians play together, their hearts start to beat in synchronicity. And I think that being in that flow state when doing a sound meditation helps get other people into a meditative state as well, because it puts me there.
all I can think about is if I saw you breathing slowly in a room. I would just, I'm so sorry. This is just me realizing like I'm fucked up because I'm thinking this is really awesome. That is some really cool shit that he's saying. But all I can think about is if I saw somebody, and I would notice it. And I'd be like, this guy's breathing really slowly. What's about to happen?
Right.
What's
He's,
about to
he's,
happen?
he's trying to control himself.
breathing slowly in a room with the caveat that it's normal in this room to do it.
Right. Not
Yes.
just at like Kroger.
Yeah.
No, but listen,
Well,
it
no,
literally
I
doesn't.
mean, if I'm pissed off at Kroger, I'm gonna breathe slow. You know.
And it literally doesn't matter where it would be happening at. If my eyes are open and I catch it, I'm gonna go, what's about to happen?
I held my breath when he did it.
I feel like this is when, like, you know, remember like on, what was it, NBC, and it was like the shooting star with like The More You Know.
Yeah.
It's trauma.
Trauma.
That's the one that pops up right now.
But
What's your reaction to the calm?
how you said people like match like their heartbeats and stuff, and those particular scenarios you said with the music, like a band playing.
Mm-hmm.
I notice I'll do that like if I'm laying in bed with somebody, I'll do that with my breath.
Mm. Oh yeah.
My breath will just, without me even realizing it, start matching. And then I like, there's been times where I've tried to like, let me stop breathing like them. And I try to change it and I can't. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Your shallow little breaths are no match for mine.
But the pace of your breath is related to the activation of the sympathetic or parasympathetic nervous systems. And if you're laying next to somebody and you start matching their breath, there's a good chance that your nervous system is either calming down or getting excited, depending on where theirs is at.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm gonna get just a little woo woo because I don't know for sure if this is exactly how it would work with electromagnetic frequencies coming out of nervous systems, but this is how it works with tuning forks, for example. If you have one tuning fork playing on one end of a stage, I'd say stage because this is the video that I saw it in, they were on a stage, and you have another tuning fork that plays at the same frequency, if you strike one, the other one will start to sympathetically vibrate from across the room because the vibrations travel and stimulate the other tuning fork to vibrate.
Oh, that's cool.
And if you're sitting close to someone else who has an electromagnetic field around their body that's being generated by their nervous system, it seems like a pretty logical possibility that your nervous systems may sync up the electromagnetic frequencies that are being produced.
That seems pretty logical, just even being in the same house with somebody.
Yeah. I mean, just like being in the same room with anybody and just like noticing their, I say vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the
As-
vibe's fucking off,
Yeah,
like,
right.
then
So like when somebody tells you like, I know that I'm losing it, but I need you to stay cool. Like, well, it's hard because
Yeah.
you're fucking losing it.
Yeah. True. True.
Freaking everybody out.
And so now there's actually maybe the possibility of an actual science behind the fact that that's hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean 100% because I mean we are just all you can. And by the way, you could like feel free to get like super fucking woo woo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just go deep. It's
Well,
fine.
I try not to get too woo woo because I also see myself as somebody who is trying to direct people who are very scientifically minded towards this stuff. So like I try not to for myself get super flighty.
I feel like it's more like if you are a scientific person, like I love sciences, you can't help but validate the data that's there. If you're gonna go look for
Yeah.
it, like it's there, it's scientifically backed. So get
If you're actually
woo-woo,
looking at it,
because
yeah.
it's there. We are all energy. We
Yeah.
have an electromagnetic field. We emit that.
Your
There's a
nervous
vibration.
system is working off of electricity. I mean, you have wires in you.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
Right?
I think what he's like more or less trying to say though is like fortunate or unfortunate for a large amount of people. If you go too woo woo, then you don't get the chance
They
to give
immediately
them the
dismiss
message.
everything else you're saying.
Right,
Yeah.
so you don't get
Yes.
the chance to reach them because
Yeah.
they automatically check out.
And I was like atheist Dungeons and Dragons nerd guy my whole life. So like I come from that background of just completely dismissing all the woo-woo stuff too. And some spiritual experiences with psychedelics is what and meditation and yoga obviously for years before ever doing the psychedelics, by the way. Also, I don't advocate for doing psychedelics unless you are a consenting adult, by the way. I just want a PSA. I didn't do them until I was in my 20s. and it was an adult decision that I made for myself.
Don't drug your friends
Don't drug
without them
yeah,
knowing.
Don't
That's
ever,
shitty.
Don't ever
do
do
not
that.
dose
Yeah.
people. That's fucked up. Anyway,
Why are you looking at me
I
like,
d-
oh.
But that's it's honestly like sometimes when I talk to people who are kind of in that realm, seems like a silly word, but in that realm, that I'll try to convey to them sometimes, like, I know you want to like slap people in the face with this, but it depends on what you want to do. Do you want them to know
Yeah.
that you're that person, or do you want to reach as many people as possible?
yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you want to truly try to create a change with as many people as possible and bring them to whatever you consider light or a higher knowledge or whatever, then you might not want to take that approach.
Yeah, well, just not pushing it on people, because like I try to be very transparent in like my social media presence and everything about what I do. I mean, if you look at my if you just look at the last 3 posts, your first guess is definitely that this dude trips. But I just talking about, I'm trying to normalize it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to push it on anybody. Like, I'm not saying that anybody else should do anything. In fact, I don't think it's for everybody. I think there's some people who should never do it. I think there's some people who are already perfectly happy without it. You know what I mean? I grew up with anxiety and depression. I was an alcoholic. Like, it fixed a lot of things for me, but that's not true for everybody. And some people are fine the way they are, you know?
I think it's where you are on your journey and like where you are at and like in this life.
Yeah.
And but I also feel like we're at a place where people are, it's gone so mainstream that people are more open to even like hearing about it.
True.
And it's a good and bad thing that there's such a draw, because like now you know you talk about cannabis and you talk about psilocybin and plant medicines, and people, there's this, you know, it's taboo. I want to look into it, and people think of it as you know, you're using substances for escapism, but really it's healing. Like,
And
you
it-
know,
and in my experience, it's the opposite of escapism. It takes you and points you back at you. It's not escapism. It's look at yourself ism.
and like the
You
way
need to
that
be
we
ready
are.
for that.
Yeah, to prepare yourself mentally to even.
And I don't even think it's necessarily be ready for that. I think for some people that's going, like you said, it's going to work or it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's like people who have problems with alcohol and people who don't have problems with alcohol, because people drink for different reasons, you know. So somebody who is using alcohol for escapism, they're screwed. If they really go and they're like, you know what, I'm going to try this, smoking weed and doing this, like, if you could still be doing the same thing and using it for escapism, because that's the mode that you're in. That's that's just where you're at.
That's true.
I'm more
That's very
hopeful
true.
for people though, just because in the past, you know, 30 years, and maybe even longer, it's been pharmaceuticals. It's been, here's this manufactured pill
that's
that
the
we're
worst.
going to give you, when now it's like, hold on, this has existed forever, that there are plant medicines. And I'm not just talking about like psilocybin or like, you know, things like that. I'm talking about like the fucking dandelion that grows in your
Yeah.
front yard, or, you know, those
Which a lot of
fucking-
people don't even realize.
Yeah,
that,
dandelions
though,
are one of the
medicinal.
best especially for just getting people into foraging. Just go out and pick some dandelions.
my-
You
yeah.
can eat every part.
And it's so fun. It, like, I try to tell people, I'm like, when someone was like, what do you do out there? I'm like, it's like a fucking scavenger hunt, bro. Like, you go out there and it's just like, see what you can find. Like, it excites me to go out there and just be like, oh, this is this and this is this. And now like learning the sustainability aspect of like, you can eat this. You can eat this. This can also be medicine.
Yeah.
Like, you're anxious as fuck, go get this plant and this will help you. And no, it's not cannabis. It's valerian.
And there's different options like out there for people too. Whatever, like I feel like people tend to get drawn to what like maybe they should try. Like I know, like with that, I've tried, you know, some of the plant stuff, some of the mushrooms, reishi and stuff for different anxieties, and they help me. The one tincture that Kara does, the
Wild lettuce.
wild lettuce, I love
yeah.
the wild lettuce.
Yeah, it's
that
good.
helped me so much with anxiety. And it's nice because if you know you're going to be in a situation where you might be more anxious, you could take
Yeah.
more.
Oh, that's been the best too. Having Kara at different events, she just doses me up with different herbal tinctures and stuff, and then at the events, I'm always just like,
Make
good
me
to go.
something delicious.
Yeah, make me a calm cocktail, please.
And it's
Calm
like
cocktail,
it's
I
so
like that.
it is fun. It's just like fun to go find self-sustaining things where, like, not to go all like conspiracy theorists, but like if shit pops off or like it gets harder and harder to obtain certain medicinal things, like say like you can't fucking get an antibiotic or something for some godforsaken reason,
Yeah.
knowing what plants you have access to in your front yard if you tell Chemlon to fuck off.
Yeah. Well, and it's also part of it also is flipping from the mindset of crisis aversion to preventative maintenance for your body, instead of like just riding the rails and seeing how hard you can go until you need to get like 2 new knees and a new gallbladder or some shit. Like actually going out and doing things that sustain your life and promote health in order to prevent medical crises from happening. Not that medical crises won't happen, because they do, but like
But if you can prevent yourself from having gallstones because, you know, you chose to integrate something into your life as opposed to like,
you've got a better shot at
yeah,
that point.
absolutely.
Exactly.
So is this what drove you into the mushroom farming? Like, and
Well-
what makes you feel so called towards mushrooms?
The mushrooms.
Because they're cute.
Yeah. They're really, really fascinating in general, because, you know, there's plants, there's animals,
And then there's
mammals,
fungi.
reptiles, whatever, amphibians, and then there's fungi. It's a whole other thing. It's not a plant. It's very fleshy. It's actually very similar to our flesh, in a sense. And there's so much medicine.
Mm-hmm.
There's like so much medicine in mushrooms, and not just the psychedelic ones. I'm talking about the popular medicinal mushrooms like cordyceps, reishi, lion's mane, chaga,
Are you doing amanita?
turkey tail. I will not be doing amanita that I know of. Harmony Acres, I think, is where most
Okay.
of the people around here are getting amanita right now. He's an awesome dude, Michael. But Kara, I went on that foray with you and Butter, wherever Butter went.
Somewhere
And
underneath
Kara,
me.
the Sporing Around foraging group, and she knew I was interested in mushrooms and asked me if I wanted to grow them for her, the medicinal ones. And I said yes, because, I don't know, I say yes to a lot of things, though. So. Well, because I wanted to grow mushrooms. I was interested in doing it already. I'd already researched a little bit.
So you just needed that little push.
Yeah, well, I mean, literally someone to say, hey, if you have them, you'll make money from these. I will buy them. Like, they will have a place to go. That's a lot of relief, because it's like, okay, so if I grow these, like, it's just, that will become,
I for sure would.
oh, hell yeah.
Don't they operate, like, I feel like I remember either reading about this or listening to a podcast, but don't they operate on like a nervous system as well?
They all have different compounds that do different things. It depends. Lion's mane has regenerative properties, as well as some other mushrooms.
I mean, like,
You're
how
talking
they,
about the mycelium,
yeah, I'm
like
talking
network.
about how, like, the network that they have.
Yeah,
How they
so
communicate.
The mycelium, it actually makes up 30% of the topsoil of, like, Earth. It is a single cell, like, imagine a root system made entirely of, okay, we'll start with a spore. A spore germinates somewhere, and it starts growing something called hyphae, which are the little tendrils that come out like roots, little
Yeah.
fungal roots, and that's the mycelium, and it grows out, and eventually it fruits a mushroom. So the mushroom is actually a fruit, well, not a fruit. It's not like an apple.
Right,
But the
but
mushroom
it
is a fruiting
bears.
body.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that's the thing that comes out, and then it sporulates and spreads the thing. But the mycelium is like 30% of the soil. It connects to the roots of the plants in the soil as well. Some people refer to it as the worldwide.
I know what
Well,
you're
I
talking
know what you're
Yeah,
talking about.
it's not. It's like a play on the words World Wide Web,
Yeah.
but it allows communication and
And you can see it sometimes, like we've seen that out.
Oh yeah.
Just
Well,
like-
I think people here aren't used to seeing it either because we've all been brainwashed into having these perfectly green plush
oh yeah,
lawns with invasive grass species, and you can have no no weeds, which are the medicinal plants,
usually,
the
yeah.
native plants. So no one has good topsoil at all. That's why everyone has the shit clay soil, and we're spraying pesticides and herbicides into the soil, so we can't have that. But
Yeah.
if you leave your leaf litter, it will turn into the most beautiful topsoil, and you'll get mycelium, and
Yeah.
you will not have shit clay soil anymore. It's amazing what
Yeah.
happens.
The earth knows how to grow plants. We keep trying to edit it, but like it's been doing it for way longer.
I'm like, you want these weeds in your yard because that's what's going to make it pretty and nice.
Yeah.
Like every year we look forward to, there was a large tree in our backyard that was cut down and the root system is like breaking down, and we get these huge, what are they, the jack-o'-lanterns? Is that what we
Oh,
get
I
in our
can't remember
backyard?
what the name
These
were. It was a weird name.
huge, giant clumps of these orange mushrooms, and you can't eat them, but it's just really cool to see. And every year
Yeah.
that old root system just breaks down a little bit more, and the soil's getting like really nice and really rich over there, so we can like maybe actually grow something nice.
The
Because we had a lot of that clay stuff.
the summer I was unemployed, I while I was working on myself and the music and everything, I got a chance to grow a garden that summer, and I did the if you look up on YouTube, the Back to Eden style gardening, where you like put the wood chips down and everything, like local wood chips, got them from a local place and everything, and I put it on soil that if someone looked at it, they would probably tell you just not to grow a garden there, and grew a really lush garden. It just like pulled all the microbacteria up, and there were like just the most bizarre looking, almost alien looking mushrooms popping out of the soil. I had cucumbers the size of my forearm, and I'd never grown a garden before.
Oh, that's
in my whole life.
awesome. How'd your
Yeah.
tomatoes do last year?
They didn't do go.
Okay, so no one's did. Don't feel bad.
Okay.
This is just like my running science experiment, and I just find it really interesting to ask because the only couple of people that I know that had good tomatoes last year grew them in their greenhouses first, but everyone else had a shit year or really late year. So it's just my little.
I want a geothermally heated greenhouse.
Oh, would you like build it like in set? Like, have you seen those old style where they're like 4 foot down into the ground
Yeah,
ones?
I would. I think I would like to do that just because it seems aesthetically pleasing to me. But like, you can build it all the way up to the top, but you just got to go down past the frost line, put in some venting, and then have the venting come up on 2 sides so that it pushes the air down and back up, and you get that geothermal heat, and you can grow tropical plants in winter Ohio.
That's sick.
Yeah.
You
Ta-
want a greenhouse so bad.
We
I
need
know, we
a
do.
greenhouse so bad.
That was our deal this next year. We're going to get a greenhouse next year.
Nice.
So we can grow all the things
Hell
and
yeah.
move all the plants out there. All of them. But are you doing a garden this year, you think? Well, you're going to be doing the mushrooms, so that's going to keep you pretty busy.
Yeah, I'm doing the mushrooms, and my music schedule is now insane. I'm working a lot, but I will be installing a garden at my sister's, I think, so that'll be nice. Just like a
Have a little something,
project.
something.
Yeah.
What are your next like big upcoming events that if you want to like promote? I know you have a seminar coming up, right?
Well, yeah. So in the month of April, I have this Friday. I'll be doing a. Well, I don't know when this will come out.
This will come out probably in a couple weeks. So anything probably after.
Yeah, so next
May.
week we next week we release the one with you and Sarah,
and then it'll be 2 weeks after.
25th.
There you
So
go.
you'll be out on the 25th of April. Or, sorry, 26th.
26th April.
So anything after that.
Okay. I would have to look at my calendar.
You're going to be doing all of the things.
Yeah, I'm gonna be
They
doing
do all the things. We'll
Well,
see.
where-
They can look.
um,
They can find you on Instagram and find your event.
and my
your
schedule's on my
website.
website.
Yeah. Guys, go ahead and say it again.
Genomesound.com, GENEOHM sound.com, and you can follow me at Genome Tony, spelled the same way, .Tony, and genome_sound.wellness on Instagram. And Anthony Sterling on Facebook, and Genome Sound and Wellness also has a Facebook page. I have a TikTok, all that shit. YouTube. Sorry, I just went off.
No, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
you should
perfect.
do.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And you guys should be
Self-promotion.
following him because he really does put out really cool stuff, and
I try to stay busy with it. I try to keep it, yeah.
it's very informative.
Thought-provoking.
Yes.
You know,
I do have one event I want to promote. I will be on June 11th. I will be at the McClure Hotel in Wheeling, and I haven't talked to them about it yet. I mean, the show's booked. I'm playing for 3 hours. I'm DJing a live set of my beats, and I haven't talked to them about this part yet. Though I want to do the drum circle thing that I mentioned earlier. And I also have a dude coming out who might come up and rap over some of the beats as
that's
well.
sweet.
Oh, that would be really sweet.
And just bring some bars and
Oh,
go
yeah.
off.
And that's
Um,
on a Saturday. So
Yeah.
Want them to come out and support it.
Hell yeah.
That'd be
you know
cool.
where that is, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know you.
Right at the.
The
what's that?
McClure Hotel on Market Street, I think.
Oh yeah, so
Main
it's down
Street.
by Ogleby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Downtown Wheeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that before.
Come on, History of Wheeling.
Oh yeah, I did take a
I
history.
know
of Wheeling
History
class
of
in
Wheeling.
college.
That's what I was
Forgot
waiting
about
for.
that.
if only we had this thing.
We
could
weren't on
type
that
addresses
side.
or names of things into.
If only we had this
If only
thing.
we had something like that.
We're too busy putting it in our mouths at night. That's why.
Well, Sarah's gonna wrap things up and ask the fun.
You know, you have me ask this fucking question.
I love when you
Real
ask
quick
it.
before I forget, we should start like how we just had him read off all of the ways to like find him. We should have him do that at the beginning as well. Just because a lot of people do listen all the way through, but some people do not listen all the way
Yeah,
through.
well, I know he did say his website early on, but that's a
Yeah.
good idea for
Yeah,
people to
right at the
like.
beginning
If you
and at
don't
the
listen
end.
all the way through,
Then you're missing out.
You're missing out.
I don't know who I'm looking at.
just
The
look
door.
at that tripod. If you're not listening all the way through, just scroll. Just push the little thing. Just go beginning, and we'll be satisfied with you. So this fucking question. I feel like how it began and what we really want to know from people
has evolved. but
has
that's
evolved.
Okay. We just haven't found the exact.
No,
way
the
we wanna
wording of
say
this
it.
thing, but like it goes with the whole whole
Yeah.
like truth camp thing. But like I like to think of it as from a position of wisdom
There you go.
in your life. Just
or lack thereof.
you've lived life, you know.
Yeah.
What is something that you have found in your life to be a truth that you know now that you can tell other people to maybe help them or just like sprinkle a little knowledge on them, or something that has been really monumental in your life?
I consider myself a contemplative. Wow. Better learn to say the word.
At first, I thought you were going with conduit.
Yes, I'm like condom.
I am-
Where
yeah,
are we
I am.
going? I like this. Keep going.
But I consider myself a contemplative, and I think about a lot of different things, and try to find truths. Truths are hard to find because we all have our own subjective experience, and so to say what is objectively true for someone else, you have to be wary of whether or not it's just a subjective truth for yourself. But I think I can say for sure that your words and your actions matter. Everything that you do and say is creating a ripple effect in the rest of your life and the world around you, because you are affecting the world around you with your words and actions. And I think that the world would be a better place if everyone was mindful of that and aware of the fact that there are other people around them who have entire lives and experiences just like they do. and acknowledging, you know, how other people's words and actions affect you and how you want your words and actions to affect others.
That is the best.
That's the most profound one I think we've had.
That
yet.
was a good
It was
one.
dope.
That was
dope.
good.
Thanks.
That was a damn good answer.
If you didn't listen to the end of this episode, shame on you.
and for sure truth.
And for sure, truth. Yeah, that's a
Yes,
very,
I love that.
very valid point.
And I mean, that's
Sarah's
just a
reevaluating
long-winded
our
way to
life.
say
I
do
real-
unto others as you would have done unto yourself.
Oh, yeah, I'm really reevaluating my life.
I could see it on her face.
Yeah, because I'm like,
It's like,
man,
shit.
yeah. I had a little incident Friday. That's why I'm like,
Everybody has incidents, man. We're all human.
I should have been really, really should have been. I was mindful of my words and of my actions, and I stand on them. I don't regret them.
No regrets.
No regrets.
You
but-
can mindfully set boundaries too, man.
Yeah,
God damn it, that's right. Mindfully set
It's
boundaries.
you
crazy
gotta
how
protect your
important
sanity.
boundaries are.
they are.
What are boundaries? That's another.
That's another episode.
All right. Well, we will make sure that we put all of your info
Tag you in
in
it.
descriptions and tags so everyone can find you. And
Thank you.
you're coming foraging with us. We got to go.
Yeah.
Scavenger hunting
100%.
together.
I will be. I'm gonna try and be at as many of the Spore and Around forays as I can.
Oh well, this is just the fuck around and find out soiree. We just go out and look for some shit. Whatever.
Geocaching with benefits.
I'm like, where are the bones?
Yeah,
Let's
you
find this
find
weird shit. I
everything.
got a jar full of tadpoles
hell
this
yeah.
weekend. It's fucking great.
I found a car once.
In the
I go-
woods.
Yeah.
Oh.
Middle of the woods.
Like,
Just, I went out by
New?
myself.
Old?
Old.
Yeah. Sometimes
Like,
you, sometimes
rusted
you
out.
run into like weird, like it almost looks dystopian. You
Yeah.
find like trees grew up through a bicycle or some shit, and you're like,
Where
what
did this concrete building come from?
Where are you guys?
Well, no,
hiking?
one
'Cause
time,
I want to go.
one time I found a car in the woods, but then we figured out it was a friend that was drunk and left the car.
Yeah, no, this one had been back there forever. Like plants were growing through it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not
Those are
scared of
kinda
that.
Cool to see though.
Would be very concerned about that. That's why I'm like, new or old?
Yeah, a new car. You should be concerned.
You
Like
should
there's
be
a body here.
Yeah.
That's what happened at Union Cemetery not too long ago. My man was out of there in a car for like 3 days. Like, yeah. I mean, R.I.P. little buddy, but like, my man was just, he was hanging out until somebody finally went, it's a little odd that this car's been here.
For a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
That's another.
summer or winter. No, we don't need to.
It
never mind.
it was warm.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was warm.
Yeah.
No bueno.
No.
Oh,
Well, on
that's
that
it
note-
huh?
Yeah, sorry, we're going down a path.
Anyway,
All right.
do unto others as you would have done unto yourself.
Of course, you know, I had to take it to the fucked up place. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow, and stay tuned for all of Tony's info. We're going to get him back on the TikTok.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.